What up, my freaks? Ruinous Insight here, welcoming you to part 1 of a brand new modded Total Warhammer 2 Let's Play, SFO Mazdamundi. Chosen by popular vote in a recent poll, Mazdamundi and Croc Gar were neck and neck there for a while. I let the poll go on a little bit longer than I was expecting to, but it does look like the Toadman extraordinaire edges out a Grimlock and his ballast. Well, I guess we didn't really want their Skaven problems anyway, because I do think that Mazdamundi has a more interesting start than Croc Gar does. Anyway, the awaited Great Plan update has dropped for SFO, which made massive changes to the Lizardmen. I've always personally found them to be, conceptually, I mean, look at this. Conceptually, they're one of the coolest factions, but in terms of gameplay, they've always been a little bit boring. Fortunately, now we've got lots of stuff like reworked techs, mechanics like the alignment system, upgradable blessed spawnings, and geomantic web unbattening, because it was fairly weak in vanilla. Mazdamundi in particular is really into the alignment system, as well as much stronger Slann mage priest emphasis, which does make sense. I'm pretty excited to try out the various strength levels of the various Slann mage priest generations, as they, I understand it, are pretty darn different from each other. Anyway, I guess before we get started, we got to do all those housekeeping things that you usually got to do at the start of a channel, or at the start of a channel, at the start of a campaign, like scheduling and stuff. But there's going to be timestamps below as always if you want to skip. So, speaking of scheduling, those familiar with this channel know that I don't determine scheduling. I more or less strictly post stuff determined solely by the YouTube algorithm, or specifically what YouTube Analytics tells me to post. Based on that, pretty simply, your guys' likes and comments function like votes and manipulate the algorithm. So if you like this Let's Play, if you like Total Warhammer content or similar content in general and want it posted often, then don't forget to drop them likes and comments and thereby vote. It is kind of annoying, I very much agree, but it's how YouTube works. Finally, and as always, I gotta give a huge shout out to Venris and the SFO team for bringing us the definitive Total Warhammer experience. Don't forget to support your modders, guys. They're the ones letting us, have a better experience with these games. And of course, as always, a shout out to you guys for all the support. Most of you know that YouTube isn't my job, so it's just something that I do for fun, and all the comments, the jokes, the tips, discussions, they keep it fun, and thereby they keep the channel alive. And another thing I guess I gotta start mentioning that I just did in the Thora campaign earlier is that I do read comments as they come in, which is why but I do often reply to them like next episode or like every subsequent episode, but then I actually type out the replies in batches on weekends or something like that. I have a really busy real life schedule, unfortunately, but I do read those comments and I do consider them in each episode. Anyway, let's do a quick Lord overview and then let's get started. So, I guess we could check out the race attributes as well. So, Lord of the Solar City, oldest and most powerful of all living Slann mage priests, Lord Mazdamundi's interpretation of the Great Plan is never questioned. Every 10 alignments held grant faction-wide bonuses, and they can also be spent on star reading in order to learn new teachings of the old ones. Every Slann in Mazdamundi's faction has an expanded skills tree. Sweet. I can't wait to try out lots and lots of Slann lords. So this is a kind of special, ability that I guess we have to pay alignments in order to unlock various little mini, not so much quest lines, but options and stuff like that. That'll be pretty interesting. I'm not really familiar with this as I haven't spoiled myself, but I'm excited to try it out. Alignments, well, when Lizardmen factions align themselves with the will of the old ones, great power is generated that can be spent on ancient rites or powerful edicts. No idea what that means or how we acquire these alignments, but just judging by the fact that Mazdamundi is very reliant on this thing, I guess that'll be very key to his playstyle. The geomantic web we know is settlements are linked by network, which boosts the power of commandments, and as I already noted, that is upgraded in the in this SFO update. Special spawnings, pretty basic, blessed variants of certain units, and beasts. Well, that's just Lizardmen in general. Now, Hexoatl in general, diplomatic relations -25 with most factions. Oh, that's harsh. Did Mazda originally have that? Damn. That's got to make it tough. Huh, maybe he did originally have that, but either way, that is that's pretty devastating. Going to make it hard to make trade agreements and stuff, but he has a pretty good start, so we should still... I mean, I feel like we should still be able to align with the elves over here. Hopefully they will give us money to trade with, but I guess we'll find out. Construction costs minus 50% for Star Chamber buildings makes sense if we're going to be very Slann focused. Same with the Winds of Magic, and I suppose same with the Magic Resistance, plus 2% per rank achieved. I'm not entirely sure what that means. Whose rank? Are you talking about Mazdamundi's rank? Are you telling me that at rank 40 he gets plus 80% magic resistance? Is this what you're saying right now? But this is a faction effect. Is this every single lord? It can't possibly be plus 80% magic resistance for every lord. I don't know. I don't know what this rank thing is. I guess, oh, maybe it's like maybe it's an alignment rank or something like that. Well, if anybody knows, please do let me know, or maybe it'll be obvious once we get started. Anyway, personally, Mazdamundi has a miscast chance of minus 10%, plus 50 unit experience gain per turn. Yeah, that's fine. A little bit more Winds of Magic, a little bit less Winds of Magic cost, upkeep reduction and armor bonus for Temple Guards. So he loves Temple Guards and he loves Slann. That's pretty simple. We get a Basti, a standard Feral Basti to start, as well as a unit of Croxies and a unit of Temple Guards. Makes sense to me. Not entirely sure why he gets Croxies. What basis is just to give him Croxies? Maybe 2 Temple Guard would have been a little bit too much. But anyway, that's it. Let's get started. Very excited. Lord Mazdamundi, most powerful of all living mage priests, has decreed that the time for inaction is over. While the followers of the ancient enemy muster in the far north, Hexoatl must wage war upon all, both warm and cold-blooded. Okay, that explains why everybody seems to hate him, who bring discordance to Mazdamundi's interpretation of the Great Plan. The younger races have squandered the old one's bounty. Now order shall be forced upon them, while the other abominations face naught but obliteration. Menacing floating toadman. He's just floating there menacingly.
Blessings to you, Lord of the Solar City. Your domain is prosperous and powerful. Yet the same cannot be said for all realms of the younger generations. Many temples have fallen to ruin, or to invaders from afar. In the absence of a unified presence in Lustria, warm-blood trespassers have come. As the Great Plan ascribes, do not tolerate their presence. There are many cohorts of Lizardmen who will aid a Slann of the second generation, although some have misinterpreted the Great Plan and may be hostile. The Old Ones shaped this world, and for too long have their designs been ignored. Their Great Plan must be fulfilled, Lord Mazdamundi, no matter the cost.
Oh man, it's been so long since I've played Mazdamundi, but it does feel a little bit weird to be actually playing a faction that I have played before, because usually, especially lately, for a long time, it's been factions that have never ever encountered before. Right to Primeval Glory, well, we know what that is, and I guess we can give this a read. Well, we know how the geomantic web works. It's construction of buildings that buff up our commandments and stuff. Of course, as I understand it, that has been significantly buffed in SFO because that was kind of trash previously, so I'm excited to see how effective the geomantic web is. Otherwise, Deliverer of Itza, first the Slann mage priest spawned upon the world. Venerable Lord Croak can be awoken by any of the children of the Old Ones. Okay, yeah, we get a special quest for Lord Croak. Alrighty, so Mazdamundi is now very much tied to these alignment things. I'm not entirely sure yet how we get them. Let's just take you out, Mr. Zinchen guy. Alignments 50 to 59. What does this mean? Every 10 alignments change Mazdamundi faction bonus strength. Magic item drop chance plus 50, research rate plus 50% increasing. Huh. And I guess we spend it on stuff? Wait, are you saying we start with a plus 50 to research rate? Yes, we do. That's pretty intense. Very nice. Old One's Favor. Man, there's a lot of these currencies everywhere. Foretold Geomancy. Reinforce the Geomantic Web to level 3, indirectly improving commandments. Wait. So we have to get all of this in order to get the 3rd level of Geomantic Web? Huh, interesting. I'm really liking the completely different way the texts look here. Yeah, it's very nice. And what do we have here? Post-battle loot, attrition, global recruitment capacity, untainted. Plus 4 at base. That's pretty damn good. And public order. There's some good stuff in there. Some good early stuff. Now, what do we have here? Source and Temple Guard upgrades. Not a big deal early game. I don't tend to go to unit upgrades early game because it doesn't feel worthwhile. So I think we can just pass them all by for now and get... Yeah, this is looking like it's all unit upgrades for various kinds of units. So yeah, as I tend to do, I'm going to ignore those and going to go for Empire buffs right away. Upkeep -5 for all units, own armies. Okay, so that's pretty damn good. Those useful stuff here. Construction cost for province capital. We should probably get a lot of these early. Ooh, growth to everybody. Ooh, yeah, this is a really good tree. Physical resistance when defend. Well, we're not going to be defending for a while. Alrighty, let's start with the Tablet of Order, I think. I want to get that public order to +2 ASAP. Now, these things will only get unlocked when we build floating gardens, eh? Alright, well, what is the floating gardens? Well, since we are also playing Mazdamundi, Honor Guard of Exoatl, eh? Halberd Infantry, a legendary unit, Juggernaut area attacks, yeah. Where are those floating gardens? And what is the cost of our first star chamber? Because I want to start getting these everywhere and early. I'll play Mazdamundi right. Let's see. +2 public order in adjacent provinces. Ooh, not bad. Ooh, and recruitment rank +2 for all. So then, yeah, we're going to get these everywhere, especially since he has a reduction of cost for building it. But where's the floating gardens? Is it this? Shrine of the Old Ones, Temple of the Old Ones? No, that's a Sotek level, Hunting Pack, Pyramid, Coral Arena, Pools of Healing. Where the hell are the damn floating gardens? Totems, Geomantic Pylon, Geomantic Spire. Floating gardens right here. Oh, it's a tier 4 building. Oh, damn, that's going to take a while. Alrighty, well, obviously we need to start with the basic stuff. So Skink Forging Camp for growth. Skink Favelas for the extra money, which we are going to need everywhere. Old One Monument will give us public order. Ooh, and Totems of Quetley also gives us... You know, we probably do want this, but we probably won't have room for it in the main settlement, so I think we'll let that go. Obviously, we will need the gold mine. We will build this Saurus building here temporarily, but we will get rid of it later. Otherwise, we could get these things, but I think we just go for money for now. And wait, can we build walls here? No, we have special walls because Exoatl is a special territory. Okay, that's fine. Yeah, let's go back to money. Money first. Now... You, Cricket. You gotta love all the lizard names, they're funny. Let's see, Cricket, you can be part of Mazdamundi's army, and we do start with 2 blessed basties with solar engines. Are you kidding me? This poor army is going to have the worst time. And we do get the unit upgrades here, which we can use our alignments on. I'm obviously not going to waste those alignments right now. And let's see, star reading. Mazdamundi looks up to the stars and looks for answers to difficult times using alignments. Now this is, I believe every time you choose this, you could choose like a buff or something, or like a sort of like a mini quest line, or like a mini dialogue line, or option line. I don't remember what to call it. We'll see it in action later. I don't want to waste any of our alignment right now because I like the fact that we're getting a bunch of buffs from it. So let's just try to acquire alignment. And otherwise, well, we're not going to use any rights or anything. Yeah, we're going to ignore all this. We'll want to use Rites of Awakening as soon as they're up every single time. So this one's up in 20 turns. We will want to get it. Now, does the star... Wait, I just want to double check. Does each star chamber... Yeah, so for a second I thought that you would need a star chamber for this, but apparently not. Alright, well, that's fine. I can live with that. And Skink Favelas, and I just want to double check what else we have here. Exotic Animal Cages 100 plus our upkeep reduction for various monsters, and then this gives us more rank recruits for Slann faction-wide. Yeah, so we are going to go all in on the Slann. Alright, speaking of going all in, Mazdamundi. Start on Skeggy, would ya? We're gonna push our way all the... now here's the question. Do we push all the way to Skeggy, or do we immediately take Port Reaver? I mean, we're gonna have to take these territories anyway. The only problem here is, of course, that they will be left alive here in Swamp Town. But it might be... Fallen Gates and Ziggurat of Danya. So the problem with this is, of course, that it's a different territory. But it is really accessible to us. Do these guys like us? No, they do not like us. Ruler's prejudice towards Hexoatl. Yeah, everybody doesn't like Hexoatl for some reason. Oh, we need to get this as fast as possible. You know what I think we'll do? We could recruit a temporary lord. What's the cheapest lord? I think it's got to be the red-crested skinks. But let's just take a look at if there's anything useful for territory here. No. Perceptive and fleet-footed. No. We're going to grab a red-crested skink. That is going to be... Let's say you, Mr. Skyrider, just in case. Yes, that'll mean a lot more money loss, but I'm going to send him down to grab Maku Peak so that we don't have... Presuming that it's empty, so we don't have to deal with it otherwise. And wait, Hexoatl, you can use Fallen Gates and Ziggurat of Dawn, so we can send you around to grab those as well. We are not at war with Sildra Tor, who have 3 territories. Oh wow, I forgot how close Morathi is. Interesting. That'll be fun. Alright, let's destroy this tiny little army here. I probably should have seen what stances we could go into. Ooh, and we start with Geomantic Guardian summons a unit of Temple Guard. That's ridiculous. Now, I just want to see. I believe somebody in the comments says you could mouse over something. Auto-resolve outcome, casualties low, and then something would identify if we're about to lose a unit, but obviously we're not about to lose a unit, so it won't help. I'm not entirely sure what you have to mouse over, because obviously I haven't played this patch yet, except for the start of Thorak. Well, whatever. You know what? I'm not going to make this one a cinematic battle, because I think that there will be better ones. I usually do the first one cinematically, but this is such a pathetic army, I feel that it'll just die long before it really does anything. So let's just do this real quick. And then that way we don't have to waste time on it either. And we'll find a better fight to fight cinematically. I'm not going to consider this the debut battle. We should just make sure that the Basties destroy the Horse Masters. The Temple Guard can freely kill the infantry units. Actually, speaking of infantry units, wait, let's move you guys back. Basties with solar engines, you guys will know what to target. Let's turn off guard mode for you guys. Can you guys target from here? Basically, yes. So, set you up to kill one, set you up to kill the other one. Do this. Mazdamundi. Oh, right, you don't start on your, dino, unfortunately. Let's see what you look like, buddy. I missed you. I missed you, you lightning-eyed frogman. Alright, and we do have our Saurus Scarvetch, and ooh, I didn't check what the buffs that the Saurus gives was. I probably should have done that. I'll set you up here, let's set you up here, we can just send you into the enemy line. Honestly, this is going to be hilariously overkill, but that's fine. Move you up. You guys attack that, you attack the other unit. We're out of Horse Masters. Now, you blessed unit. So what do you have? Beam of Chotek, Medium Splash, Causes Terror. What is special about this unit? It's kind of hard to know what it is when you don't actually have a basis for comparison with a regular unit. I assume it's just more damage or something like that. It could be something that they apply. Do normal ones... Nah, I think normal ones apply blinded, and they all have fire and magical attacks. Alright, you guys. No. Don't skirmish. Don't skirmish. You're fine. You're fine. I actually don't care how many of you die. I feel bad, but then again, I don't really. Let's make you all into group 1 and then target, and then just have you all attack. There we go. Go. And these guys aren't going to charge. They're just going to get killed by the range units. Everybody else, hey, I did not make the Croxagores charge. That's my bad. Croxies, go on in there. There we go. Alright, the range unit should be just about done, and oh, we actually have cast available immediately. Is anybody getting hurt? What else do we have here? Ancient Mind, Unbreakable, and stops Rampage faction-wide. Ooh, that's going to be useful. Let's set you to Apotheosis on yourself, because you're... Actually, no, let's going to set them on the Saurus Warriors. We'll put Harmonic Convergence on you, because it looks like the Lord wants to play around with you. Let's have the Croxies kill the Lord. Alright, and I don't think we need to control the rest of this force. Poor Saurus Warriors are getting a little bit beat up, but that's fine. Alrighty. Here comes the victory. Saurus are going to break through. It looks like... What's going on over here? You guys have stopped chasing because I didn't turn off your guard mode. That's my bad. Alright, are those ranged units all about dead? Yeah, they are. They've done, like, nothing. I thought the Cav would be more annoying in this particular battle, but it's fine. Alright, there we go. Do we need to send in the rest of the force? I mean, I guess. No, it doesn't matter. It's already over. Yeah, Mazda got a little bit beat up. I guess we can just make sure to use his Apotheosis on himself to heal up next battle. He's obviously got very little melee defense right now, so he's a Slann. I'm not gonna send him into melee while he's still on his little floating chair. At least not for a while. But there's so many buffs, I think, that will eventually get him... Even before he gets his mount, so buff that regular lords won't have too great of a time killing him. Maybe I should have sent the Saurus Scar Veteran to deal with this situation. I just wanted Mazda to, you know, be able to actually fight, because it's such a rare opportunity for him in the early game to physically fight. Oh, we can use kill and eat. We can get a little bit of treasury, or we could get 5% physical resistance for this army. I think we're going to do that. Let's exterminate these guys in favor of the Great Plan. It says it'll further the Great Plan, and I'll certainly take that. Ah, damn, yeah, we can't reach Port Reaver in a single go. I think that means we head out to Skeggy first. That's fine. Not a big deal. Alrighty, then, I doubt that there's an army here. Iron Curse Icon. Swell. Missile resistance for Mazda. I wanted to see... You have cunning. Oh, you're kind of bad. I'm gonna replace you with somebody who's better. Sorry, Cricket. Let's start with training. We might as well get some value out of that. And let's go Predatory Fighter. Okie dokie. And I take it we can't get any more heroes on the field the first turn? No, unfortunately not. That's fine. Mazda. Battle March Stance. No, we are going to switch you to March Stance. And we're gonna hit Skeggy. Oh, there is a little army here. Ooh, okay, so this might be a battle worth fighting. Oh yeah, there's a lot more units here, and they will have even more units when they're there. Maybe I could have even recruited some. Doesn't matter. It'll be fine, I'm sure. You. Do we send you to Ziggurat of the... No, I think we send you to the Fallen Gates immediately. Okay, and other than that, I do believe we can end the turn already. Let's get to it. Now, Skeggy is going to be a cinematic battle, because that looks like it's going to be a lot tougher, and I'm excited for that. Not gonna send in Mazda that one, don't worry. Oh man, Port Reaver is definitely gonna build up before we hit it this way. I was really hoping that we could have hit it in the same turn, but oh well. You to the Fallen Gates, please. And then hit Maku Peaks. Oh, frickin' Skaven are over there. Okay. We are at war with them. What are these guys? Clan Naw, eh? Okay, well then. Wait, can they reach this guy? Nah, it doesn't matter. Sent you to Maku Peaks instead. Ah, damn Skaven. I'm already annoyed at them. Alright, now we are going to switch to, I think... Let's see. Battle March Stance gives us +5 melee attack and 10% missile strength. Yeah, that's probably better than the Astromancy stance. And we can't even reach Skeggy with the Astromancy stance anyway, so... Battle March all the way to it. It's not like we're gonna lose without these basties. Oh, we got 2 alignments, eh? Is that a per turn thing, or did we get them after the battle? Pyrrhic Victory. Scout terrain. I'm not seeing any of these things lit up. I'm obviously not going to auto-resolve because I want to fight this cinematically, but... Hey, wait, why are these units hurt? What the hell happened here? What are you doing over here, Skeggy? Maybe these are new units or something. Auto-resolve options, casualties, so... well, whatever. Cinematic battle time. This will be the true debut of this. Maybe the Temple Guard will actually have something to do this time. Alrighty, debut for Mazdamundi. We've already seen him, so we already know what he looks like. But this time we'll have a proper army. Ah, look at the little cricket guarding him. Adorable. Does Mazda actually use this mace he has to hit people, or does he just... Or just use magical attacks? I don't remember. Alrighty, well obviously the enemy army is fairly large in terms of the number of enemy units that they can bring as compared to ours. I also immediately use that Bolt of the Old Ones. I don't remember or don't know what this ability does, so I tried to target it at the enemy lord. It is a magic missile, but it looks like it's more of an explosive attack, because while it looks cool, it does absolutely no damage to a single unit like this. See, he's taken, what, 92 damage or something? Which is obviously silly, but yeah, just judging by the fact that it's left such a large explosion, we will retarget the next one at an actual blob of enemies. We are also going to try to target the relatively threatening units with our Bastildons with solar engines as they come up, and we can switch them to melee as they do. I generally like to target the first unit in a blob first, because sometimes the Basti misses, and when it misses, it can at least hit the unit behind that unit, although when it misses like this, obviously, it can't really hit anything. Yeah, like, see what happened here? Obviously, you want the stray shots to go further and continue hitting enemies. Now, our skink cohorts are going to be pretty critical here. We are going to have to set them up to kill the enemy cav, who are going to try to harass us a little bit, but the skink cohorts with their javelins should be able to take care of that reasonably well. Don't know how long they'll have to take. Did not a single one die to a full volley? Damn, that's unfortunate. Alrighty, well, the battle lines are going to connect. We do have our Temple Guard to defend against all this nonsense, so I think that should hold on for a while. We could have gone for Death Star blob sort of deal and allowed ourselves to get completely surrounded instead of doing it like this. Ooh, you know what I maybe should have done that I just realized just by looking at this now? Maybe I should have kept this Basti out of melee and just firing into blobs like this instead of distracting these guys. Of course, we did get surrounded because the enemy had way more units, so that's why I decided to put it into melee. I mean, it was about to get attacked anyway, and there was no really no other action to be taken. We had our Saurus warriors waiting in the back to see which flank needed more help, and it looks like this Basti has taken care of 2 units and stopped them from going any further, including their Marauder champions, which I believe is the most threatening unit on the field that the enemy has. So that's good, and thus allows these Saurus units to help out on this side as well. The other skin cohort, of course, is going to continue firing at these Marauder Horsemasters until they are off the field. First enemy unit, the Marauders with great weapons, are out. Lovely, and it looks like the Temple Guard are doing good now. What is that glow? Oh, it's the Apotheosis. I cast it on them. I did try to get both of the Kroxigors, which are doing a decent job smashing all these units around. I did try to get them to attack the enemy Lord together with our Saurus Scar Veteran, but they were having a really difficult time hitting him. We can see that he's taken absolutely no damage on his health bar, despite the fact that he's sort of surrounded here. It looks like his men are doing a great job, you know, acting as meat shields. Although as a Norscan, I feel like he should, you know, act as his own meat shield. Otherwise, it's kind of cowardly. The Hound is not going to appreciate that. Oh, he's out a little bit more alone now, and I did send the Feral Bastillodon to deal with him. Obviously, the Basti's not going to be so great at killing Lords, but we do have the Saurus Scar Veteran as well as other units in there. I was about to say unlike last time, but actually exactly like last time, I also did get Mazdamundi to fight here. He does add a little bit of splash damage, and as long as he's not being targeted by enemies, that's just fine. And oh, looks like my question is answered. He does in fact just use magical attacks with that mace. It does have spikes on it, but doesn't actually smack anybody with them. Although to be fair, it's kind of hard to get them into range, eh? Because he's floating up there. He'd have to, like, lean down and, like, smack people around with that staff. It is a really cool effect when he uses his magic, though, plus with the glowing thing that he has there on his helmet. And I just realized how awesome of a hat he has. I just remember that Arkan had that amazing hat, and still nobody can beat Nagash's hat, don't get me wrong, but Mazdamundi is pretty on a level with Arkan there. They might have to have some sort of hat duel. I get distracted by hats, especially shiny hats. Quite literally in this particular case. Oh, and it looks like our skin cohort actually ran out of javelins to chuck at the enemy unit of horse masters. They did rout on top of that, so that was about perfect, although they didn't take a crazy amount of damage. They were then able to charge the rear lines of this unit of Marauders and Marauder champions that were being held back by this Blessed Bastildon, which is, you know, pretty appropriate in time. And there we go, we do have another bolt of the old ones coming in, and it looks like, I believe this unit was full health when it got hit, so pretty decent damage on a Marauder Hunters unit, especially considering the Marauder Hunters don't have the same level of unit cohesion as an infantry unit, I believe. I think they stand a little bit further apart, like they have a more loose formation, right? I could be wrong though. I think at least one of those units do, but I'm not entirely sure whether it's that one in particular. I think the Marauder Hunters with Javelins definitely do. But do the regular Marauder Hunters? I guess it doesn't really matter. Now, the rest of the army is just about ready to rout. The enemy lord has also gotten surrounded by a unit of Temple Guard, as well as a Saurus Scar Veteran. Unfortunately, these guys are kind of not doing a great job surrounding him. I do move them forward so that they fully surround him. There we go, Temple Guard. You can at least apply some armor-piercing damage to get rid of this guy a little bit quicker. Very nice job, by the way, to the enemy lord for sticking around that long. Over here is the main portion of the battle that is still fighting, primarily because of these Marauder champions. Really, really well done. I mean, this early on, they've taken a lot of hits, and they're getting hit by a lot of enemies. Juggernaut, Common, what are their stats? 43-54. Pretty damn nice. They haven't gotten themselves a lot of kills, but we have to consider that they're fighting Temple Guard here. 2 units of Temple Guard, a Basti, a Kroxagor unit, and the Skin Cohort, and they're getting hit in their flanks, and they've suffered army losses, and they're still holding on. So, yeah, the Hound would be proud of them, I'm sure, even though they will die eventually. And as soon as they do, the rest of the army should buckle. There's a few units coming back and forth here, but we are pretty much chasing all enemy units off the field now. They won't survive contact with another unit of ours. And there we go, finally, the Marauder champions, it looks like, are going to rout, and this battle is going to go in the favor of Mazdamundi. There we go, a proper debut, I gotta say. Unlike that first Skeggy battle. Ah, and in the shadow of one of the temple cities. Or at least one of the ziggurats. Beautiful. Yeah, you guys run from that floating toadman. He looks so serene, just like slowly floating at them. Floating at them menacingly. Alrighty, a close victory, and it is true we did suffer a fair amount of damage here, but I think I can take that. We are going... I'm actually curious to see how everybody did in terms of damage here. Compare the Temple Guard versus all the other units. Because the Temple Guard were like main line, right? But the Skin Cohorts in both cases were able to A, chase enemy units, and B, flank enemy units, so that should have increased the amount of damage they were able to deal, plus all the extra damage coming off of those javelin throws. So let's find out. Alrighty, very nice. Early game proper battle. Now, our losses were negligible, I will grant, at only about 20% of the army, a little less in fact, but it still felt like a proper battle just by virtue of how long it took various of the enemy units to go down. So I do appreciate that. Well done, Skeggy, for fighting to the last, as is appropriate for Norskins. 135 kills for Mazda, which got 10,000 damage dealt, which is not too bad. 15,000, 14,000 each of the Temple Guards apiece, and ooh, 14,000 more on the Skin Cohort with javelins than one of the Temple Guard units. Very nice. Croxies did, I think, the worst in terms of the multiple entity units. We got 8,000 on you, 17,000. Damn, looks like you are the winner, Blessed Bastillodon with Solar Engine, and you're not even upgraded yet. Well done, buddy. And especially considering a lot of that was fought in melee. Alright, perfect. We will occupy Skeggy. And we'll heal up right there. We got ourselves a free Opal Amulet, and Skeggy is destroyed right off the bat. Perfection. Now, I think we're going to get the Ziggurat of Dawn with Lord Mazdamundi then, and then on to Port Reaver. Skeggy is a part of Hexoatl, so it does mean that we can recruit a few units here, which we probably should. We are already losing money, so we will have to be a little bit careful there. I think a few more Skin Cohorts with javelins wouldn't go amiss. I was about to say maybe get a Feral Cold One to chase units down, but I feel like the Skin Cohorts can do that as well, and I really like the Javelineers, so let's get a few more of them. Do we need 3? I mean, ideally, maybe we want 1 more Source Warriors, but the thing is, I would rather replace those with shields, and we're gonna do that as soon as the building is ready to go, but we need to hit level 3, which is gonna take a while. Let's also get some more growth and casualty replenishment here, and upgrade Skeggy immediately. We'll just have to watch our cash. Now, I just want to refresh myself. Will you just buff Temple Guard? Okay. And I also want to double check, what's your level 40? Ooh, hello, what do we have here? Blessing of the Old Ones ability. Blessing of the Old Ones replaces Bolt of the Old Ones. Wow, that was quick. Replace it immediately. Target ally. Contact grants for... duration 2 seconds. I don't know. Blessing of the Old Ones grant for 300 seconds. Plus 50% base weapon damage, plus 50% armor piercing damage. Reload skill accuracy, expert charge, defense immune to psychology. Okay, so it makes a unit considerably more powerful for 300 settings. Seconds, rather, settings. But it does take a while. Ooh, we could get Comet of Cassandora right away. And I do believe I remember it... that one of the things about the patch is that all of the Slann's higher level spells are unlocked immediately because they're Slann and they're like super magical, so that makes sense. I think we want to get the early Comet of Cassandora so that we have something to spend that mana on. We could get Arcane on Forging as well. It's a possibility. but we'd probably only have the ability to use one. I mean, eventually we'd probably get them both, but I feel like I'd rather get the Comet first off, especially since there's going to be larger amounts of units. I think we'll hold off on the Blessing of the Old Ones. I'm not sure that how good this is. I mean, we wouldn't use this... the thing is, expert charge defense and immune to psychology. Does that apply to Temple Guard? They should have expert charge defense already. The magic resistance is swell. Is this better than the free damaging spell? I'm not entirely sure. At least not early on. Alright, this is what I wanted to check. Lord of the Solar City, his final rank 40 upgrade. Faction-wide upgrades, recruit rank for Temple Guards, fire resistance, a blessing of Hexoatl to the entire faction. This ability gives you an explosion. Okay, nice. Upkeep for Slann, it makes sense, and +2 alignments per turn. Lovely. Also, generating alignments sounds like a little bit odd, but it makes sense, sort of. Let's see. What do we get with our other point? Usually I'd go for Root Marcher, but there's so much good stuff here. Ooh. Oh, what? Your red line just straight up upgrades everything. It doesn't upgrade, like, individual units? Oh, that's fascinating. Oh, that's really fascinating. Oh, I really like that. Damn, alright, well, we'll go with Root Marcher for now, but I really like that. Wait, is there none that give melee defense? Oh, I don't like that as much. Melee defense is very valuable. Okay, fair enough. It will make his army quite powerful. And let's see, we have Opening of the Heavens, which is a bombardment, which is free, so more magic and lots of armor-piercing damage. Ooh, range plus 33% for Bastiladon and Stegodon units. That can be very powerful. Gotta get that ASAP at level 12. Yeah, I'm gonna have to save points to get that immediately. A free Burning Head, is it? Lots of magic. Go figure. And then Ruination of Cities. Well, we obviously want to get that as fast as possible. Ooh, you know, we'll probably have to do maybe at rank 8-ish. We, oh wait, you only need 2 skill points. So at rank 9-ish, so we can go 9, 10, 11, 12. And immediately get Ruination of Cities. Yeah, I gotta remember to do that. Hopefully I don't forget. Alright, otherwise I guess we'll get a temporary Saurus Warrior with Mace. Why Mace? Because we have Temple Guard to act as the anti-large units in the army. Not that the enemy is going to have a lot of anti-large units in the first place. Alrighty, that's it for now. Let's end this turn yet again, I believe. And then let's head down to Port Reaver. Start hitting all these territories. I mean, I guess that the game probably wants you to hit the Fallen Gates first. Oh, I knew this guy was going to attack us. Retreat. We obviously don't actually care about this Lord. And you're not going to follow along. That's fine. Oh, the annoying thing about this is if we grab Maku Peaks, in fact, wait, what we'll do here is we're going to pop you into ambush and make sure that this unit moves away before grabbing it. So let's go ambush right there. You will move away, presumably. And then we'll hit Maku Peaks when you're far enough away. Alright, we can do that. And then we can also make more money out of the Skink Barrios. We leveled up again. Lovely. Lovely. I think we're gonna wait on Shaka's Vigor. Ooh, do we want to get Renowned and Feared with Mazdamundi? I don't think so. I almost never go full blue line with Legendary Lords, because they usually have so much good stuff that they can get. Oh, there's the melee defense I was talking about. It's an Ancient Power as opposed to Shaka's Favor. Okay. Armor plus... Wait, what? +1 per rank achieved? What do you mean by that? You can't possibly mean Mazdamundi's ranks, can you? I don't think so. That would be ridiculous. +40 armor would be ridiculous. That's not possible. Right? Guys, somebody help me. Okay, well, I guess we'll find out. I'm not entirely sure what it means by ranked. Because these are ranks. But 40 armor seems insane, like absolutely insane. Unless it can mean veterancy ranks, +9 armor would make a lot more sense. Well, regardless, we need to spend another 2 points. We already have a Root Marcher. We could get these. We very well could. We do want to get Greater Arcane Conduit ASAP. We could also get Arcane Unforging. Shield of Sapphire is actually pretty good. I think I'm going to grab that right away for the +10% damage resistance around self. It's only 10 seconds, but it's pretty good considering he's going to have a lot of magic stuff. And you know what? Let's get Reserves of Eldritch Energy. Focus of Mystery. So it's a free vortex spell, is it? A free banishment? Yeah, let's get that. And we can get that at rank 15. Okay, so we gotta move towards it. And then there's this classic Slann force field, of course. Man, Mazdamundi has so many good things to grab in his army. You are still wait, what? This was 2 turns? Oh, I didn't even realize. Whoops. That's fine. No need to get it. We can move into Ziggurat of Dawn right away. Oh, are you serious? You are actually slightly too far. Just slightly too far. That's annoying. I didn't want to waste an extra turn here, but I guess what we'll do is we'll move up here, and then we will go into encampment. We do have to keep an eye on our money because we are not making enough here, folks. Man. This will get upgraded. Well, we'll have the gold mine in a second, so it shouldn't matter all that much. Oh, did I miss your level up as well? Yes, indeed I did. We are going to get you. You were taking a lot of damage despite the fact that you have a lot of melee defense, but I think despite that, we're going to go for Blade Master first. It feels way more worth it to get 12 melee attack on a 40 melee attack than it does to get an extra 15 armor, right? So let's do that. Do you have a level 40 ability, or is it just Legendary Lords? I think it's just Legendary Lords. Still cool, though. I really like that. It'll make them feel a lot more powerful. Okay, you do what? Causes attrition to enemies, and I don't care about that. Alrighty, let us go to our next turn, and let's hit Ziggurat of Dawn and prepare for the assault on Port Reaver. This is going to let the Skaven get stronger, which is gonna be unfortunate, but you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do. Alright, there it is. 491, not too bad. Only faction-wide caps is what I always do in SFO. It is recommended after all, and I trust Venris's idea on that. Let's grab the Ziggurat of Dawn. And colonize it. Probably could have searched those ruins. Oh, we could search the ruins with the other guy. Let's also immediately upgrade our gold mining pit. Let's upgrade that Ziggurat of Dawn. We can get that port there next level. Ooh, we'll have to keep an eye on our cash. Oh, and you're gonna have to heal up. I guess you could go to Hexoatl before Port Reaver, but then we're so close to the Fallen Gates, it feels like maybe we should just grab that first. Damn it. Not exactly what I wanted. Alright, you are not gonna colonize because it's too expensive right now. Search those ruins. I don't feel like wasting time with this, so I'm just gonna do that. I just want the XP. Not that you really need the XP, huh? Maybe I should have... Nah, well, it's too late now. I don't know what the reward for that one is. Oh well, too late now. I generally ignore that. I'm just thinking, do we disband you or do we wait here and then grab Maku Peaks? The thing is, it'll be the only territory here, which is not very useful. Yeah, alright, let's just head to the Fallen Gates. Ooh, what is this? Is this a battle one, or is this like free money one? Because if it's free money one, that's certainly something we can take. You are a Remnants of Battle. I think Remnants of Battle does mean an actual battle in the Remnants of Battle, unless I could be mistaken. A recent battle site. I mean, we could go there, but the problem is then where would we land? Can you actually land here? No, this is all cliff. We'd land up here near Sildred Tor. Nah, we can't go there right now because then we'd be stuck and then we'd have to go all the way around again. That would be a complete waste. Let's move... I mean, we could march stance you all the way to Hexoatl. Let's do it. Why not? And then we will get a... Yeah, let's go for max skink favelas right now. We clearly need the cash. You're gonna have a full stack by the time we fight you. Oh well, it'll mean for a much nicer fight. For a more difficult fight, I will grant. But that's fine. You now can no longer afford grabbing Maku Peak, so you can just sit here and ambush for when Mazdamundi's ready for you. You are... Yeah, let's just hit the Fallen Gates. The Skaven shouldn't be too much of a problem for us. I also wanted to double check this again. So we are at plus 50% research rate, cooldown minus 12.5% for ruination of cities. Army Geomantic Guardians. Now, if we drop below 50 to 59, will we no longer have that Temple Guard spawn? Because I really don't want to lose that. It'd be really unfortunate. I have to keep an eye on that. Alrighty, let's get another end turn. Man, we are not regenerating a lot of troops. I did not realize that it would take so long this early. But that's okay. it's not like we're gonna have too much of a issue fighting those Skaven once again. I'm gonna eat those words, aren't I? Never underestimate the Skaven. Oh, New World colonies. They are united against us. Well, that actually decides it for us. The only problem here is that with a full stag, this guy might be strong enough to... Yeah, wait, I'm gonna move you here. Honestly, this army's still here, so we could attack it. But he'll have what? Let's see, there's another 4, there's another 9 units here. Damn, so we'll have to 25 stack, we have 13. And they're all at half HP. I fear that that's not enough to destroy this army.
I can't.
Although we do have spells now, like Comet of Cassandora. We can still try to risk it before they recruit more units. Is this stupid? Is this a stupid thing to do? Because our Temple Guard are down to 28, but we take so long to recruit anything. You know what? I'm going to hit Port Reaver anyway. If they want to unite against us. And a valiant defeat is the result. Casualty replenishment high. Ooh, wait, I want to see... Auto resolve. Oh, you have to mouse over this. That'll show you. Everybody will die if we do this. And, oh, they do have some halberdiers. 33-41 on the swordsman. 47-47. 46-36. What did they say? 33-41? I just want to compare them. They're better than Skinks and Melee, but they're worse than Saurus Warriors, which does make sense. I feel like a Saurus Warrior should be considerably stronger than a regular human infantryman, but maybe that's just me. Alright, well, this is going to be a toughie, but we are going to have to fight it because I've decided that it must be so. We're going to rely a lot on dropping a Comet of Cassandora right into the biggest blob that we could possibly generate. Obviously, I'm going to have to make a cut here because the previous battle was a cinematic one, and then this one will be cinematic as well, obviously, because, you know, it looks bad for us. So here comes the cut. Alrighty, there's the cut, and just before we get started with the second cinematic battle, I just want to say, for those who don't know why I made the cut there, I generally explain in the first episode of every series. It's because when I go back to comment over the first cinematic battle, yeah, for some reason there's no way to like save it, and it crashes. Therefore, when there's multiple battles in an episode and any battle after a cinematic battle, I gotta save, go back to the main menu, comment over that battle, and go back and return to the actual campaign, regardless of whether the next battle is cinematic or not, just because that other battle would otherwise not be saved, because it's always been buggy. Hopefully that explanation makes sense. Let's get to it. I think we're going to try another Death Star formation, or actually not another Death Star formation, but the first battle I was talking about not using a Death Star formation, even though we could have. I think this time we are going to go into a Death Star and sort of blob up as opposed to spread out, so that we can't get surrounded as much. Hopefully we can find a nice piece of ground where we can sort of maintain a formation, like on a hill or something like that. I'm a little bit wary of the fact that the enemy have 6 full ranged units, and I'm not entirely sure what we're going to do about that, but well, let's try to figure it out, shall we? Alrighty, here we go. A very, very risky battle in terms of the number of troops that the enemy can bring, and especially the number of range units that they have. They outnumber us by a significant amount. I think it was 4,000 enemy troops to our 400, so literally 10 times as many troops, unless I'm mistaken. I think it was 4,000, but either way, even if it was like 2,000 or 3,000, it's still a huge, huge difference. Now, obviously, we need to find ourselves a nice little mountain or hill to climb on, and unfortunately, it is looking like it is going to be in one of the corners. This one's a little bit low. We could have gone here, but this one was the highest hill, so I eventually decided on this one. I tried to avoid going completely into the corner. I generally never, ever corner camp, just because, you know, it's... it's unfair to use these borders, which is why I don't approach it here. But since this is the only hill, it's pretty much the only option. I mean, why would anybody fight a battle with when you have a high ground option and not take said high ground option, right? Now, over here we have our solar engines firing as many shots as they can into the enemy blob. We got to soften up as many of these units as possible, and especially the more threatening units, like this unit of halberdiers, which is the one that I'm targeting over here, as well as this unit of pikemen, just to try to get the anti-large units off the field. Obviously, this battle is going to rely a lot on us using our dinos to their full effect, because regardless of the fact that we are horribly outnumbered, the enemy army is not very adept at dealing with units like our Bastiladons. They, of course, have, 100 armor on them. Their melee defense isn't insanely high, but because they do splash damage and with that insane amount of armor, they can hold a very long time, even against a mass blob like this. And the goal is, if we can manage it, to force the enemy unit into a big blob around our Death Star that is up here. All of our Skinks and Saurus and Temple Guard together in a little blob around Mazdamundi, and then drop a Comet of Cassandora right into the majority of the enemy blob, which is why we went with this whole Death Star formation that I avoided doing with Skeggy last time. And we can see that the Skinks and the regular Saurus are sort of hiding behind the Temple Guard, which are up front in a little wedge like this. This will of course mean that the Skinks back here are going to take a lot more damage from the enemy range fire, but you know, it is what it is. Unfortunately, I accidentally forgot this Basti and this Kroxagor unit. I was moving these guys around to this side in order to start attacking them over here, and then forgot these guys, but fortunately they do run faster than enemy infantry, so it didn't turn out to be that big of a deal. We also have one other clutch thing that we can rely upon. We have Mazdamundi special, and I think it's Mazdamundi. I don't think it's it's an all-lord ability, is it? Or maybe it is with SFO, I'm not sure, but it seems like it should be Mazdamundi's ability, and the thing I'm talking about is, of course, the ability to summon a unit of Temple Guard anywhere we want on the map. And that is going to be very, very useful if we can manage to place it right. We only have one shot, obviously. Alright, so here we go. Once again, we are going to fire on the enemy units, and now the enemy range units are going to be pelting us. Of course, they're not going to do a crazy amount of damage. We can also see the fire arrow coming in from the enemy Hunter General, or Huntsman General, is that the name of the lord? Huntsman General, yes. Alrighty, and now we are actually going to be targeting the enemy Empire Archers. The Bastiladons, of course, are very good at fighting one-on-one against enemy range units, because they do apply that blinded stat to the enemy range units, so it's probably not such a good idea for the AI to commit its range units against our Bastiladons, because even though it's 6 versus 2, we will win that fight. They're much better off using those units to kill our melee stuff. And speaking of melee stuff, let's take a look at what the enemy is doing here. Oh, can you not go into the corner? Okay, well, let's just take a look at this like that. Oh, there we go. So we can see that they've sort of surrounded us on two edges. They're not going up the center for some reason. And here, they're not actually attacking us. I don't know why the AI decided not to do this. Maybe it doesn't want to fight on high ground or something. I even backed the Bastiladons up a little bit so that these guys don't immediately hit them. And the AI is sort of just milling around up here. And this is kind of contrary to what I was hoping to happen. They've also got kind of loose formation, so we're not getting a lot of kills in with our Basties. This is really bizarre. And I'm not sure that this is good or bad for us, because if they don't blob up, we can't Comet of Cassandora them, and they can just kill us by attrition. We can see that we're already taking a lot of damage to the enemy ranged fire. We've taken, maybe, I don't know, 20%, maybe 15 to 20% damage on each of our units from the HP that we originally had, just by virtue of the concentrated range fire from the enemy crossbowmen. All we can do is sit here and fire back with our Bastiladons, because we can't really waste our Comet of Cassandora on any of this. Kind of turned out to a really interesting battle. I really did not expect them to act like this. But in the meantime, we can hopefully try to kill as many of these range units as possible. 2 of them are at about half HP, but the other 4, I believe, are at about full, so there is still plenty of time to go. Of course, the enemy range units don't have that... don't have those kind of close formations or tight formations where we could kill an insane amount of units with each shot, but it's still, you know, it's getting there. It's getting there. Not as good as the melee units. Oh, and it looks like one of our units of skin cohorts is almost dead, and another one... oh, wow, our Temple Guard is below half HP from where it started. That's not so good either. And that's with them being a hyper-elite unit. At least for the lizards. Come on, guys, use your shields. At least Mazda appears to be more or less fine. They don't seem to be attacking them. Does he have Slann regeneration off of base? Or does he not? 893. No, he doesn't. I think you need to upgrade it. I'm pretty sure the Slann can upgrade a regeneration. Here we go. Now, here is that maneuver that I was talking about, what is going to be very clutch. I decided to summon the Temple Guard on the field. The enemy general by himself was exposed, and I summoned the entire blob of Temple Guard around him, and he can't get out of this. These guys do have a fair bit of mass, even though they don't have the most mass of elite units. They're pretty damn good. And despite the number of enemy units, and it looks like the enemy is actually running all of its melee to try to help, they cannot get their general out. And he is going to drop. He is at not one unit. He has at very, very low HP, and he's close to being destroyed. This was amazing. I can't believe that the enemy left their general unprotected like this, and it was a ranged general who was particularly weak against this and wouldn't have survived very long. If it was a melee lord, it might have survived a little bit longer. Oh, and unfortunately, look at that. I used Mazdamundi's Bolt of the Old One's ability, hoping that we can hit this blob and damage it. Unfortunately, it did not work out. But since the enemy units did decide to all attack this Temple Guard unit that was summoned down here, we have to make use of it and drop a Comet of Cassandora right on them. This is the only Comet of Cassandora we will probably be able to get off for the entire battle, so we gotta make it count. And here we go. The skies are roiling. And here comes the Comet. It better not mess up like the Bolt of the Old Ones did. Oh man, especially since we took such a risky battle. We need to delete various units here. And you shouldn't have blobbed up. Here we go, Comet of Cassandora coming in. Oh, look at that shockwave! Beautiful. Even the units that don't go down or go flying or disintegrate, they still get staggered by this. And let's see the damage. It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 units, if not dead, at least very, very badly hurt. And a couple more over here, but I think some of these are units that were actually hurt by the Bastiladons with solar engines, who have been doing a pretty good job. These 2 units of range have been basically taken out. Another range unit is running away, so very impressed by the work for the Basties. Of course, the enemies have done a lot of damage with their own range firepower. Yeah, it's really interesting. I'm really curious to know whether this was how this battle would have gone if the AI had just attacked us straight up. And down goes the enemy lord to the summoned Temple Guard. The lightning strike, or the deep strike of these Temple Guard Terminators. Clutch win for our forces. Well, not quite win yet, but I think after that Comet of Cassandora basically deletes half of their army and pushes our... oh, it's 3,000 enemy troop count. We can see it right here. I should have checked that earlier. But yeah, that Temple Guard Terminator deep strike pushed us over the edge here in terms of the balance of power, and even though our units are hurt, we still have all 3 of our Basties at full HP. We still have Mazdamundi himself at full HP, and Cricket, our Suraskar veteran, at full HP. Where are you, Cricket? You're full HP, right? Yeah. Yeah, he's full HP. So we should be just between those units, even if we don't send in the rest of our hurt units. I think they can take care of the rest of these guys, because they're fairly weak. We have to remember that these are only Empire infantry. There we go, double Basti attack, and the 3rd Basti is getting ready to go as well. Sans solar engine, but certainly ready to fight. Smack him with your tail there, Basti. There you go, very nice. And I do believe some of the enemy units are coming back, but if we can cause enough terror and force enough enemy units to be running off the field, the enemy army without their general should run off just by virtue of army losses and the crippled leadership. Of course, the enemy units won't have great leadership either by virtue of them all being basic tier. There we go, 3 Basties now, getting ready to work. Mazdamundi is pushing out ahead and making use of his HP. Once again, he doesn't have a lot of melee defense, but it's not like a unit like this is going to be very effective against him either, especially as we've destroyed a lot of the anti-large stuff. Now, does Mazda by himself do Slann count as large units? I'm not entirely sure. I mean, they're pretty large units, right? But they're not like Dino large. And there we go. We're getting very close. We can see all those units. They're wavering. They're shaking. And there we go. There's the chain route. We can see all the leadership drop, and just like that, the Terminators have carried the day in true Warhammer fashion. This turned out to be a really great battle, and a heroic victory, of course, because the auto-resolve was saying our entire force would die and it would be a valiant defeat. And yeah, very interesting. Also very odd that the AI behaved that way. I don't think I've ever actually seen it do that, where it sort of surrounded you with its melee units, but actually decided to attack only with its range. What it usually does in these situations, I remember recently, and I think it was in the Throg, there was a campaign, there was a Wolfric battle that was also on top of a hill, and the enemy sort of lined up all of its range units, and it did fire, but it kept its melee like right here in front, whereas if that had happened here, the Huntsman General might have survived if all the melee were able to instantly surround the deep striking Terminators, but because the AI didn't do that, they got completely screwed, and they lost Port Reaver. Amazing. Oh man, I'm not going to pretend that that was the smartest battle to try to take, but it did work out at the end of the day, incredibly risky though it was. We could have lost a lot of our early game starting units. I was pretty confident that our Basties would resist most of what the enemy units could bring down because of the massive amounts of armor that they had. Plus we had that little hill where we could stand on and hold off the enemy line, but at the end of the day, the AI did not behave nearly the way that I thought it would, just staying back and pelting us with those range units. It actually did allow us to bring our Bastillodons to bear, doing 45 and 41k damage apiece, and destroying the enemy range on our own terms. Plus, these guys do blind them, so I believe that reduces accuracy or something on the enemy range units as well. The AI did kind of screw itself there. Plus, on top of that, that super clutch Lord kill with that summoned unit of Temple Guard, deep striking right there and surrounding the enemy Lord and killing it. I don't know, that was pretty awesome. I'm really glad that Mazda gets that ability because I'm thinking that probably put us over the edge. Well, plus there was that Comet of Cassandora, 64,000 damage off of that one spell coming from Mazdamundi. And of course, once again, it was due to the sacrifice of that one unit of spawned Temple Guard. That would have worked really differently if the enemy had decided to blob up and attack us at our hill. I don't know if we would have been able to hold on as long. I mean, we would have definitely had to push out our units, but the thing is, their range units would have then survived. I'm going to chalk this one up to the AI being an idiot, but still, I'm glad that I took the risk. 100 units lost only on top of that, and just like that, Port Reaver is ours. Ooh. I gotta say, that was beautiful. And let's see, it looks like Swamptown is relatively undefended. I do wonder how many territories these guys have over here. Oh, we start off at war with the Blue Vipers, eh? Alright. Alright, well, unfortunately, despite that battle being pretty exciting, a nice heroic victory at the start for Mazdamundi, we are unfortunately out of time, so I am going to have to call this episode here. Next time, we will proceed to destroy the New World colonies for good, I believe, with a simple attack on Swamptown after, you know, we probably get a couple more skinks in here. Maybe we'll get some melee skinks as they are cheaper in here. We don't really have a lot of money, but once we take over Swamptown and Maku Peaks, let's see. We'll have basically 2 provinces that are nearing completion. We still have to push towards Shrine of Sotek as well, even though this is all expensive, but we are very close to already grabbing our first 2 sets of territory. So I'm pretty happy with the start thus far. So stay tuned for more Lizardman / Toadman action next time. So with that said, as always, I do appreciate any and all feedback with regards to the gameplay or the way I do things on this channel. If you have a second, please do take it to leave a like and or a comment to support the channel. It really does help. As always, All glory to the algorithm, and thanks for watching.